This is the Relevant Podcast.
It's episode 1198, and it's the Relevant Podcast here in Orlando. I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and joining me from Loverland, Virginia, is Jesse Carey.
Hello, hello.
From Nashville, artist, producer, mogul, Derek Miner.
What up, dog?
And just down the street there in Nashville, our managing editor downtown, Emily Brown.
Hey, y'all.
When you change apartments, you have to switch to downtown. You have to go downtown next time, just FYI. Stop living in the suburbs.
Listen, it's about $5,000 to live downtown in Nashville.
That's what I'm saying.
Expensive.
That's what I'm saying. Just pray that blessing in. Put that on your vision board. Come on, girl.
Okay, well, can't wait for that raise that you're going to give me so I can live downtown.
Listen, you do a great job and everything explodes. You will get that raise. Let's go.
Come on.
You control your own destiny.
In the meantime, it's Midtown Emily Brown.
That is generous. It's slightly south of Nashville.
Crosstown.
Listen, y'all, she in Antioch with me, y'all. So just
basically,
I am technically, my address is Nashville. Okay, so let me have this. But if you give me about a 2-minute drive, I can be in Antioch real quick.
Oh
so this is the Friday show, but we're recording this on Wednesday. I'm giving the listeners context why I'm going to bring this up. This morning, I was on the phone with Emily for at least 2 hours trying to help her get her voice not sounding like she's still asleep, because she was up all night last night watching the presidential debate and also watching 8 hours of Secret Wives of Mormon Wives. Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, that reality show on Hulu.
Yeah.
She watched the entire series last night.
Not the entire series. I had watched part of it the night before. A small part
Wait a
of it.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
There's a show about the wives of Mormons.
Oh, Derek, let me get seated for this.
Derek. I watch trash reality TV shows. I watch a lot of things. I watch a lot of TV. I live alone, work alone. It's background noise. Okay. All
right.
This show is the craziest reality TV show that has ever come out. It is literally this group of real friends that they call themselves #Mom Talk, and they were like doing dancing videos together, like for real, like
TikTok stuff or something.
TikTok stuff,
Yeah,
20,
TikTok
21,
trends.
22, right?
Okay.
Then they got really famous, and they would show up in each other's videos, and they called themselves Mom Talk. Then, and I didn't know anything about this because that's not my algorithm. Apparently, in 22. There was a scandal that it came out, and they're all really devout Mormon families. Okay. So they're all.
And they're young. They're like 20-something women.
The Mormon thing is you get married at 18, 19, 20, and you have babies right away. So these girls have like 2 kids, a husband, and they're 23 years old. Right.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So they're fully on TikTok. And then they're also this weird, Mormon life. Anyway.
So it's like the Mom Talk where it's like, here's how I take care of my toddler. I do this.
No,
that kind of stuff.
They're literally
dancing
doing
videos.
They're doing
Dancing.
like TikTok trend dances.
That's it.
Yeah.
Very,
Mom Talk. Okay.
Very weird.
Okay.
Here's what's crazy. In 2022, it comes out that Mom Talk, who had millions of followers, they were all swinging with each other behind the scenes. They were having swinging parties, and it all came out, and it blew up Mom Talk because this facade of this idyllic Mormon life they were living came out that y'all were a bunch of hypocrites, right? This is in 22. I didn't know about this. The reality show picks up 6 months later and follows them through their own bickering and power struggles and like the shame of the internet, knowing all your worst.
Is there any part of America or is there any part of like society that ain't just freaky?
My house.
Like this is just like
my
a freak.
house. This is the island of character and integrity right here.
Is America just pimps and hoes? Like I'm just really trying to figure out what is happening.
It's crazy.
That like nothing's wholesome.
Nothing.
Like what's his name? WWE. Like you find out that he on some weird stuff. You got Drake, he on some weird stuff.
Dave Grohl, like 23 years married with kids, just had a kid out of wedlock.
Right, on some weird stuff. Man, and you know where it all started? And again, you can edit this out.
The fall
of Satan. But then after that, it was when we found out that Ravi Zacharias was out here on some weird stuff. That's when everything went crazy, bro. When we found out that Ravi was out here on the freaks, bro. When Ravi was out here on the freaks, that's when we knew.
I think society snapped after Ravi and COVID. Like everybody's just like, whatever.
In fairness, and it's like, there were some people, back in like ancient Israel having their morning tea, and they were like, "You hear about what David and Bathsheba? This is crazy. What everything is going." Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's kind of just human nature.
Game of Thrones.
That's what I was gonna bring. I was gonna bring up Tamar. I was gonna bring up the Tamar situation where was it Judah? Judah got she had to dress up like a prostitute because Judah was out here on them freaks.
Yep.
And that's how she got pregnant. Judah was out here on them freaks, man. Like, look, just God, how did this happen, God?
Yeah, part of it's just human nature, and and combined with the internet and massive non-scripted TV network budgets because they're super cheap to make is a bad.
That's the thing. Like, whoever reached out to Mom Talk to say like, "Hey, this whole scandal that blew up your lives, what if we filmed your reaction to all of it?" Like, it's honestly a genius because it is great. Again, like, it's not even just the reaction to the scandal. It's they are trying to move on past it. I cannot tell you how many times throughout the episodes they constantly ask, "Is Mom Talk going to survive this?" Which is just such a silly thought to have. Like, who cares? But
it's the Kardashian playbook. Like right after the tape came out, Then the reality TV playbook. Like, I mean, hey, it's a proven success pattern.
Reality TV's had a rough go of it in recent. It just is. It's tired. The format's stale. It's too contrived. They're trying to create fake drama. It's boring. So this was like. So I signed up, Jesse, as I told you on the last podcast. I'm like, I'm gonna try and watch football with Jesse this year. So I got Hulu Live, right? Yeah. So I can get the football stuff. And so I'm going through Hulu Live on Friday night, and Hulu promoted like the premiere of this Mormon housewives show. I hadn't heard of it. And so I just started watching it, and I'm telling you, it is so crazy. So I ended up over the course of last weekend watching the entire series and in like 8 hours. And so I come into work on Monday. I'm like, Emily, I found your show. You have to watch this show. It's insane. And she ended up like getting hooked too and watched the entire. Last night you watched 2 hours on Monday night, and last night she watched 2 hours of the debate and 6 hours of Mormon housewives reality show. She went to bed
I was up doing things too, like laundry and like putting stuff away in my house. I wasn't just sitting on my couch for 7 hours. I'm not that unhealthy. But here's the thing.
No shame. I sit on my couch for 7 hours. That's my social life.
Every episode would end and it was like, wait, this is such like the producers were really good or the editors were really good because it's like it would end on a cliffhanger. And it was like, well, let me just watch one more. And then by the time I got to the end of the 7th episode, I was like, well, it's 12:30. We're already here. Might as well just push through one more hour.
Yeah. Them cliffhangers are the ones like the people that put the cliffhangers. Because I knew diabolical.
If I tried to go to sleep at that point, I would be up thinking about what happened to my girls. Yep. I need to know what happened to them. I'm invested. I need to know. And so it was like, I might as well put my mind to rest. And then it ends on a cliffhanger, which killed me.
The thing that Emily was like, I knew she would connect with about this show isn't even just like the voyeuristic looking into this weird world. It is the fact that Emily is a strong, independent female Christian, right? She's strong-minded, strong of character. These husbands in the Mormon culture are the most toxic, narcissistic, controlling. It is the craziest relationship dynamics I've ever observed. And so I was like, Emily, you're going to hate these guys. You're going to watch this.
But don't you guys see?
Awful. I was like, listen, I got divorced. Somebody divorced me. I'm going, I was such a good husband compared to these dudes. Like, it made me feel good about myself.
But don't you guys see there's only 2 formulas left. Like we've gone through every type of reality show from, exterminators and car repo shows to
that was the golden era.
Yeah, that was it. But to fishing vessels and you know what I mean? Like everything that we could have, motorcycles, everything. We've seen it all. Right. and there's only two left standing. One is the formula where it's young, charming, attractive couples with complicated romantic entanglements and toxic traits in a setting. So working on a cruise boat, or adjacent, or in a real estate business, or whatever it is, right? Or in the same socialite circle. That's one. And the other formula is young, attractive, charming couples who go into a small town and rebuild homes for profit. Those are the only two formulas
HGTV.
left.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's all it's boiled down to at this point.
Or ratchet hood girls that
it's like, Jesse, you're not watching BET Plus, buddy.
Have to pick a guy by popping the balloon if they don't want to talk to him.
Oh my gosh, that stresses me
I
out
will
so
say
much.
this: competition reality shows are a different twist. Like when there's an element of
Survivor. Yeah.
Them joints are crazy.
Here's the thing with Mormon Wives that I think makes it interesting is it is like a lot of the older reality shows mixed together. So it is a little bit of Real Housewives. It is a little bit of Teen Mom. It is a little bit of Sister Wives, which I enjoy because I love those weird TLC shows. Like it does feel new because like even though it is sort of the same formula like that Housewives follows, it's just like these people are so interesting. Like
they're shockingly young for how advanced their
I do want to clarify. One girl
are.
got married at 17 because she got pregnant at 16. And so she married her 21-year-old boyfriend.
21-year-old boyfriend, 16-year-old pregnant.
And we move on from that too quickly for me.
Yeah,
it's Utah, man. I mean,
well, that's a recipe for disaster, regardless of whether they're Mormons or not. Like you put a 16-year-old and a 21-year-old. When I was 21 years old, I didn't know anything. I still don't feel like I know anything. But then a 16 and a 21-year-old throw kids in the mix. You're gonna get some freaky stuff going on. Like it's gonna happen.
They're like some of these girls are so much
kids.
younger than me. Like there's a girl who she gets divorced. She's 22 with 2 kids. She's 7 years younger than me, and she's having to deal with way more grown problems than I am. And it's like I have a fully like developed frontal lobe.
That's the thing. They literally say that to each other. Like, like we're having to get married and make lifelong decisions before our frontal lobes are even formed. No wonder we're messed up now in our mid and later 20s because like we missed our youth. We were still like, we didn't know who we were. And now we're trapped in these lives where then they act out in weird ways. But
here's my question, and I guess maybe I'm gonna have to watch the show.
It's crazy.
But if everybody's husband is toxic, why are we swapping husbands? Like why?
Well,
like,
okay, so let me clarify. To me,
that doesn't make a lot of sense because I'm like, you might as well just stick with your toxic husband instead of sleeping with somebody else's toxic husband.
Okay, so one thing is not all of them were swinging. Like there were a lot of them that were swinging with each other. Not everyone on the show was swapping hubs.
No, I think we figured out that there's a main character on the show that was kind of the crux of the scandal. She's on the show,
so she the freaky one. She the freaky one. Okay.
But we did a little research yesterday, like because we're both curious about this, and all the videos that girl was posting in like 21 and 20, the girls in those videos are not on this show. So we think that was the group that had the scandal. The girls on this show were shrapnel.
There's probably about a dozen or so girls in this Mom Talk, and on the show, there's only about 8 of them that are on the show. So there's a few that
the group is dealing with. We all got labeled that we were part of that scandal, and I wasn't. Whatever.
Gotcha.
But everybody lumped the internet lumped them all together.
It's 12 of them. Maybe 4 of them was doing the swinging, and then there's the 8 of them that's kind of just they're
who are now
with
being labeled as swinger. But then it's really interesting because a lot of the there's a few of them they kind of internally divide themselves saints versus sinners because there's some that are more devout in their Mormon faith than others.
Half the group is trying to be good Mormons. Half the group is rebelling against the church.
But even like the devout ones, like it is very interesting to watch them call themselves devout Mormons. And then there are certain choices they make that it's like, that doesn't feel very devout to me.
Yeah.
Like
I need an example.
They do things like they won't drink coffee or alcohol or anything like that. They'll drink soda, and like that's like so they're devout with certain things that the church would approve of. But then they'll curse or they'll do different.
They get Botox because then they can get laughing gas and they can get high from the laughing gas. But they don't.
Literally
do
go
drugs.
get Botox just to have the laughing gas experience and get high legally within the church
Like a
rules.
loophole.
Got you. So it's legalism. I got you. So it's like
Very legalist, yeah.
When you deal with legalism, same thing in a lot of other cultures. I mean, same thing in Christian culture. It's
it is really interesting to watch because a lot of these girls, in a way, are like deconstructing on the show, and like that was interesting to me because I've never seen a reality show. So they don't use a language, but I am aware of what's happening and them questioning, wait, why are we doing these things? And is this okay? Is this not okay? Like, what was I taught growing up? Like, that's a really interesting aspect to me.
I was going to say, I think what it sort of illustrates isn't necessarily anything specific about like LDS culture. I mean, I've had LDS families in my life, and they're some of the best people I've ever known. Like, legitimate, like kind, give you the shirt off your back, have literally had a major impact on
Do
my
they
life.
take it off your back before they give it back to you? You said they'll give you the shirt off your back.
In that case, I had pulled a muscle and just couldn't get it over the head. It was awkward.
That's nice.
And they
It's so
didn't
helpful
know
with being gay.
No,
You're such a jerk, Cameron. Just like I was trying to clarify. Like a great point.
but I do think there is something to say for the, how, different communities that, have a lot of like lifestyle sort of restrictions and adherences, sort of accelerate the visibility of certain impulses of human nature. I mean, I remember the laughing gas example. I remember reading a profile. It was post all scandal stuff with Jerry Falwell Jr., who grew up in the home of Jerry Falwell Sr., who was the founder, not just of Liberty University, but of an institution he called the moral majority. Like morality, not spirituality, morality was central, right? Demonstrable behaviors, not necessarily spiritual devotion, morality. And there was an interesting anecdote that's always stuck with me that his father would frequently drink NyQuil at night. And the joke was, it was like Baptist wine. It was the same thing with the laughing gas. Like, well, technically I can have this to kind of take the edge off, but I can't indulge in alcohol. But he wasn't doing it because he had a sore throat. It was chemical escapism, right? So I don't think it's necessarily isolated to one specific religious communities. I'm sure there's examples like that.
Not at all.
Derek, you said you might watch it. I'll say this. There have been countless times on this podcast that, we'll be talking about stuff. You'd be like, I am seeing a side of white culture that I didn't know existed, or I'm learning about white culture. You tease us about it. Dude, I was watching this show about these Mormon 20-somethings going, there's a side of white culture I didn't even know. Like, I was learning about white people. It was the whitest show. There's one dude, one of the husbands is like, I think a full-on albino. I mean, like, he was like blonde hair, blue eyes.
He's enemy number one, in case you were wondering.
He's awful.
I mean, Mormonism has had some pretty challenging situations with black people in the past. There's not a lot of culture.
There is a black woman on the show.
She was just living in Salt Lake City.
There will be a black woman. There won't
in
be
high
a lot
school.
of them.
Well, listen, here's the thing that's crazy. Emily and I were talking about this. It's like, I know that they've quote unquote changed their theology in the last 2 decades. I understand this, but at its core, my religion class in college taught me that the theology of how Mormons viewed minorities, specifically black people, was that they were the cursed race because in the vote in heaven between Satan and Jesus, when all the people who chose Satan became the demons and were cast out of heaven, but the black people stayed neutral in the vote. And so they were cursed with dark skin. And that's the Mormon belief on black people.
I saw a cartoon on it. I was like, oh, sorry.
No, but what's crazy is there's this girl on the show. She's a part of Mom Talk. She's black and 22, just got divorced, 2 kids. She's in all the videos, does all the dancing and stuff. Her story was that she was just a resident of Salt Lake City, but all of her friends in high school were Mormons. So her friend group was Mormon. So she converted and became Mormon. And I'm like, how can you as a black girl, and her family is not Mormon, she's the only Mormon in her family. It's like, how can you become Mormon knowing how their religion views you? I don't understand it. But I don't know that she thought that closely about it, because she's just like, culturally, my friends are Mormon, so I'm going to become Mormon. You know what I mean? It's just weird. In
a lot of black situations, like, you see where if a minority, I don't even say this is black, but if you see a person that's in a minority, our family is one thing, but when you probably spend more time at school, like cognitive time, than you do with your family, which is a crazy thing that happens in America. But so when you think about being ostracized, eventually you're going to say, you know what, it's probably better for me to adopt these customs while I'm here. And then eventually they become so normal that you're like, you know what? Then you go through the rebellious teen phase, et cetera, et cetera. It makes a lot of sense. I see that happen with a lot of black people, that it's like they may grow up, you know, parents are affluent. They're like, man, we're going to put you in this rich school away from a lot of black people. The next thing you know, they start adopting those customs, and they either do one or two things. They either go where there's black and suburban, they try to reclaim their blackness by trying to act hood, and it's like you have no hood bone in your body, or they capitulate and assimilate into that culture. So
Carlton Banks.
Bingo. That's it. Don't get no easier than that one. Right.
Anyway,
exactly. Yeah.
So forgive Emily if she's tired and frog-throated today.
No, you brought up the husbands, and that activated my fight or flight response. And so
they're that bad?
Dude,
like,
I've never seen anything like it.
I pray they never come across me, because I probably would throat punch them.
I mean, you gotta remember, they're like 25-year-old guys who have been told that your entire religion is that you will, in the next life, be a king of your own planet, and your wife is your property, and her purpose is to serve you and make you children to populate your planet. That's what they believe.
You get to be a king of your own planet if you become a Mormon.
Not in my world.
That's where polygamy comes from, is that the relationships that you make on Earth will carry with you into the afterlife. So the more wives you have, the more population you can have for your Earth, your new planet.
Are you?
Yeah.
Are you for real?
That's what they believe at their core. They don't talk about it, but that's the theology. So anyway, so these guys are raised
populating their planet spiritually.
Yeah.
By physically being with multiple women. So when they go spiritually, those people will be with them on physically. Their planet.
Yeah.
Okay.
So these guys, though, are raised not with polygamy, but these guys are raised under the mindset of you're the only one who matters. You're the king of your house. Now, these wives, young wives, are the breadwinners because they're making money on social media, right? And so now the power dynamic.
Dads too, or like they like bum.
The most deadbeat you can imagine.
Out of the 10 of them, like, who's the breadwinner in your family? 9 of them raised their hands. Only one of them had a working husband. So the husband is controlling and is the patriarchy, but the wife is going, I'm making the money. I'm taking care of the kids. Why are you telling me what to do? And dude, I'm telling you, it's wild. It's wild.
They're sitting there playing Call of Duty while the wives are going to work.
Yeah.
One of the husbands goes gambling while they're in Vegas one time, and the wife's like, I'll give you this much, but she gives him like $2,500. And she's like, don't spend it. Like, don't lose it all.
And he got mad at her for, anyway, it's this whole thing. We gotta move on. But it's wild.
I have an observation about this that has nothing to do with the dynamics of the show. It's more to do with Emily. Emily, you watched this after the presidential debate. This seems like
to wrap it up.
The most emotionally charged, like high-strung hours.
It was a busy night for me.
But I'm just saying, like, your central nervous system following that 90 minutes and then coming into what sounds like a lot of existential
the conclusion of the season. So it's like all the crazy stuff peaked.
Drama. Yeah. You know, that just seems I'd be exhausted.
I did have an energy drink around 3 p.m. yesterday, so that kind of pushed me through.
Emily got into the Baptist wine pretty late and had some night.
Emily, I saw you post this. You said, are you watching the presidential debate or do you love yourself? Right. So then you go from watching. First off, you were posing because you watched it.
Poser.
Then you went and added more suffering to your life.
Yes.
Emily, we have to question your life choices like right now.
Yes.
See, I don't see it as suffering. I see it as letting myself
indulge.
I'm trying to spin this so I don't look crazy. I feel called out.
The debate was enough. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. But I made it about an hour in, and then after that, I said, you know what, man, I got better things to do than this.
I had better things to do, but I couldn't turn away. You know,
I also had better things to do. I had to finish a series, but
I watched the entire everything too, because I just in this media environment, I don't want to be told what to think because somebody threw a clip in my feed or whatever, and it distorts my thinking. I want to see it for myself, think my own thoughts, and that's that. Yeah. That's why I watched the whole thing. I still haven't the the whole debate format. It is totally insane, right? Like, I mean, no one is watching it to like make up their mind here. We're just watching to see, how one person get another one riled up, or it's like a sport. It's not like we're trying to take anything substantive. Like, I mean, one candidate didn't make it after the last debate, so it's like that's what I'm saying. I mean, like, they are consequential. It's like people literally watch it for like this sort of like competitive sporting thing, not for intelligent dialogue about information, different perspectives on how to solve complicated problems. It's really watching a boxing match, like my guy won, like you're betting on it almost. But it needs to be like two of them show up in like t-shirt and jeans at like a podcast, and it's like 4 hours, and just like the conversation just free flows. Someone can fact check on Google here and there, but just like a couple of people talking would be, honestly, you'd know more about the people and sort of not just like their policy, but also how they relate to real-time conversation. It just seems like, what can't we just at some point do that? That's how most people listen to people articulate these days anyway, I really wish what I was watching in the debate, like when I was watching Kamala, and I'm cool either way, whatever. But when I was watching Kamala, she had a lot of the same talking points she did at the convention. And I wish that what we saw in the debate was somebody telling us something that we didn't know, or diving deeper behind those talking points. Same thing with Trump. Trump has his talking points, she has hers. But it's almost as if they were both it's almost like they were both trying to give speeches as opposed to really trying to dive behind why the person believes that and why that's bad for the country. Like, I wish we could get back to, that's what a debate is supposed to be about, right? Like, here's the flaws in what you believe, as opposed to, hey, let me tell you what I really believe. It's like there would be, rather than addressing what the person says, we just go sidebar. Both of them just did that. We're just going to go totally to the left. They should do this would never happen. But something that I think would be more interesting is like each agree to be interviewed by the other, right? And if I'm interviewing the other person, I can ask whatever I want, right? Yeah. And when it's my turn, I can ask you whatever I want. But you have to honestly answer the questions. Yeah. Each get an opportunity to interview the other person about policy, about whatever, right? Again, that would never happen, but it would be so much more like informative and instructive to what they actually think. Then, to your point, Derek, it's performative. Like these debates are just 2-minute mini speeches, and then the other person goes. They're talking at each other. Can I ask a question? Because and forgive my ignorance on all of this. In an actual debate in like school, like if you take a debate class, isn't there like a winner and a loser between the people that debate? Like they score them. Mm-hmm. Why don't we do that? Panel. Why don't we do that with the presidents? Like, why don't we score these debates like actually in real time? I think that would maybe even incentivize them to actually talk about what the hell the question is, or what the heck the question is about. I do think with that though, like if there is a scoring system and someone comes out a winner, that could be seen as like bias of like the media is saying, okay, this person won based on the criteria. Okay. So it's like, I think we are supposed to let the American people decide from what they saw. Well, like that's a debate. So it's like you would like literally they ask a question and you just talk about whatever you want to. That's not even a debate no more. Yeah. Like it's a speech. That was my biggest area. That's why I cut it off, because I'm like, I don't think I'm going to get anything other than the talking points that I already know both candidates have. Derek, they're eating the dogs. They're eating the dogs.
it was at that point. That's when I'm like, you know what, man.
That was like 2 minutes in. What are you talking about
here, bro? No, yeah, I gotta go. Yeah, that was crazy.
We have a great show in store for you today. No dogs or cats will be harmed in the recording of this episode. Drew Holcomb's coming up. He has a new album out. No neighbors are joining him, just Drew Holcomb. We're excited about that. We also have your feedback at the end. It was the 90s and 2000s movies, TV shows that you think hold up, and we should I should expose Cohen to.
Quick correction. Emily and I were talking beforehand. It actually is Drew Holcomb and the Neighbors, but not the band. It's just Emily's neighbors who came in. So
just people who live around him.
So it's technically
random neighbors.
So it's technically Drew Holcomb and the Neighbors, but
and the head of his HOA.
Emily's been in violation of some doormat issues, but we're going to get it covered. We'll dig in.
All right, stay tuned. Up next, it's Relevant Buzz. You're listening to Hendrick. The song is Little Bit. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Mercy Ships. Globally, 5 billion people lack access to surgical care. In sub-Saharan Africa, there's only one surgeon for every 200,000 people. Mercy Ships provides free, life-transforming surgeries for people who have little to no access to medical care. They help the blind see, straighten twisted limbs, remove deadly tumors, treat cleft conditions, and so much more. With state-of-the-art hospital ships, they provide safe surgery to children and adults living with treatable conditions, and it's completely free of charge. They do all this work with an all-volunteer crew of professionals who donate their time and talents. Surgeons, stewards, nurses, engineers, and more make the world a better place. Your donation today provides free, safe surgeries to people in desperate need of help. All gifts are matched, so please donate today at mercyships.org/relevant.
Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Tim Tebow's book, Look Again. Have you ever wondered what would change if you truly believed you were infinitely valuable to God? In his New York Times bestselling book, Look Again, Tim Tebow reveals the powerful truth that when we learn to see the image of God in every person, including those we struggle to love, everything changes. Tebow shares incredible stories from his work with people the world often overlooks, and it will challenge you to stand up to the lies, rediscover the worth that everyone has, and impact the world for good. Find Look Again by Tim Tebow, available now wherever books are sold.
Okay, it's time for
Relevant Buzz.
Tell us what's happening at the intersection of faith and culture this week, Emily.
Okay, so the biggest news is that Nate Bargatze is getting his own primetime variety special this fall.
Let's go.
CBS.
His rise is crazy. That dude is on a rocket ship.
He is the number one in attendance, the number one comedian in the world right now.
That's dope.
His arena tour, Be Funny tour, crazy.
It's like a Dave Chappelle rise, man. Like this is generational.
Jesse and I will always take credit for his rise because we found him before anybody else, and we brought him on the podcast. And for a year before his Netflix special, he said,
"And dude,
we were a big part of it." So
we were. That's how. We brought. I think he was one of the first big podcasts he did. He came on in person, hung out with us for the afternoon, and I'll say has been incredibly gracious over the years since then. He's made. I've gone to see 2 or 3 of his shows. And all 3 times he made a video for my kids and sent it to them as like.
Thanks for the invite, by the way. Thanks. I wouldn't want to go. Yeah, cool.
Well, okay, he's filming his special here in Nashville, so maybe we can figure something out and we can see him because he's going to be filming it at the Grand Ole Opry, and the whole special is going to be like a blend of stand-up, sketches, pre-taped comedy shorts, musical performances, kind of like a little mini SNL in a way, which makes sense because he's working with a couple SNL people to make this happen. So, Lorne Michaels, who created SNL, is serving as the co-producer. So he's kind of giving him some feedback. And then Bargatze is also working with Mikey Day and SNL co-head writer Streeter Seidel on the entire show to to write a lot of the sketches. And that team is the group that came up with Washington's Dream sketch from when
One of the best SNL, one of my favorite sketches of all time on SNL is Nate Bargatze as General Washington casting his vision for the future of America. And it's all about measurements. It's great.
It's so good.
So random.
It's so good. So like it just.
Oh, I gotta watch it. I haven't seen it. That's crazy.
It's one of the funniest
it's so
sketches
funny.
I've ever.
You're gonna love it.
I'm interested in the format though, because as we've stated, we're longtime Nate Bargatze fans, but I feel like his stand up, it works so well because he's like dry and mellow, and it like the variety show format I think is interesting. That's what I'll say. Like I'm here for it. No, there's no question, but I would not have expected that. You know,
I think if I hadn't seen him host SNL, I would be maybe a little bit more confused of like, why aren't you just doing like a standard stand-up special? But I'm like interested to see him in sketches and kind of like pre-written stuff. I think it's going to be really funny, I think. So we're excited for that. And that's going to come out in December on CBS and Paramount Plus.
Good holiday family TV content.
I love it. I love
And
it.
while we wait around for the next installment of Mormon Wives reality TV, we can cleanse our palate with a little Nate
Nate,
Bargatze.
please don't be a freaky man. Please.
No.
Just keep a freaky man.
He is a good family man.
He's
We
America's
believe
big
that.
brother. He better not. Be
Be a family man, not a
We need
freaky
that.
man. I'm gonna put that on a shirt. Be a family man, not a freaky man.
He's just sold 1 million shirts just now.
This one he made, like the running joke he's done. Well, I don't know if I should share, but like my kids will watch, because your kids can watch his specials, and we told him like, hey, we couldn't bring him this year, but he has a great running joke. Hold on.
What's up, Noah and Haley? I'm sorry you were not here. I told your parents to bring you, and they chose not to. So that's on them. But we will come next time, and we will get to hang out. Thank you guys for
He's done that multiple times. He's like, I don't know. I told him this was the time, and I specifically told them. But he's just like a great sport and a great dude, and it's like it's so cool to see someone like that.
Yes,
get to the top,
I'm rooting for you, man.
Text him and tell him we want to be in the studio audience when he tapes this in Nashville. We'll all go.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, if it's in Nashville, we might be able to. All right, well, offline. Let's offline.
I want to go.
Comment and stuff because we might be able to do that.
And I'm going to give him my shirt. Be a family man, not a freaky man.
When is it, Cameron?
It's November. He's filming it November 21st. All right. Speaking of families, I do want to talk about a study that came out this week that is pretty interesting. More and more millennials and Gen Z are choosing to stay child free. And it's not for the reasons a lot of people think. It's actually for money reasons. So according to this new survey from MassMutual, 1 in 4 young adults without children, so that's ages 18 to 43, are planning to remain childless due to rising financial concerns.
The 21-year-old Mormon girls are making up the difference. They're having all the babies.
That is true. It is balancing out there. No, I mean, to be honest, though, we actually, like this year, the annual U.S. birth rate has hit a record low. So it's not shocking to find out that a quarter of American adults are choosing not to remain childless or to remain childless. Because I'm sure you guys know this. I don't really have to tell you this. Kids are really expensive.
Man.
Turns out.
On average, a parent will spend about $240,000 per kid from birth to 18.
Yeah.
Which I had always heard 200,000. So it's gone up 20% in the last few years is what the studies
since 2016,
found,
it's jumped 20%.
Yeah. So, wow.
I will say this though, and I hope I don't get beat up for this, but you do find a way.
Yeah,
like,
you do.
You find a way. Like I mean,
honestly, the dumb stuff that single adults, at least me, spent my money on before I had a kid. Your priorities shift, and you wanna spend it on the family instead of that fun thing you did as a single person. You know what I mean? It's just your priorities change.
And that is something that was brought up in the study. Was a lot of people are opting out because they want to spend it on that money on themselves for travel or for saving up for the future, different things like that. And so I do agree. I think, like you said, they can make it work. They just have to shift their priorities. So, but it was just a interesting little study there.
Yeah. Birth rate.
Okay. And then the last thing that I want to share with you guys is I just, there's a lot of like hopelessness in the world. There's a lot of cynicism, a lot of darkness, and I think we should.
Why are you
really...
reminding us?
Is that the update?
Yeah,
No,
that's
I
the
want
update.
to like give
and
you guys.
lastly, y'all, the world sucks. Okay, that'll do it for Relevant Buzz.
No, I want.
Here's Drew
I
Holcomb
want to
and
acknowledge
the head of my
You
HOA.
killed her setup. She was trying to set up something good, and you, Cameron.
No,
All right, let's go. All right, I know the setup. All right, here we go. Keep it going.
Hey, here's my HOA rep, Frank, along with Drew Holcomb, to talk about some trash can issues. We're having.
No, I want to acknowledge we're in like a tough time right now. And I want to give you an inspiring story because despite the haters out there who try to steal your jokes or who try to put you down.
It's a story of perseverance. Emily, I am living out the thing you're going to tell us about. The thing you're going to tell us is a story of perseverance and not giving up on your dreams. And I am saying you had a vision for your monologue and I took it sideways, but don't give up on it. See it through. You can get back up and finish this piece. I believe in you.
Yes.
Here we go. What's the news? What's the news?
This is why.
The news is that the most inspiring man, Billy McFarland, is moving ahead with FireFest 2.
FireFest 2 is really happening. There you go. That's the update.
I was hoping. I'm trying to get me a cheese plate.
No, dude, listen to how much the tickets cost.
Yeah, okay. So he did. So this really is a true story. He actually is moving forward despite being about $30 million in debt. He's currently selling tickets that range from $1,400 to a VIP package going for $1.1 million. So, you have options there. I think that's for the gourmet cheese. I can only imagine. Yeah. But the key part of this, 0 musicians are lined up for the festival. He has nothing planned yet, but you can buy tickets just in case.
For $1.1 million.
He's got concepts of a plan.
Oh, that was good.
That's a starting point. And that is a starting point.
Wait a second. So there's no musicians lined up and they want you to pay $1.1 million?
Nothing's like, he's got a date, April 25th.
Where's the island? Is it in heaven?
It's a Caribbean island. He has the location. He has the date. And price point, apparently.
The lineup and all the details is just trust me, bro. Like, what could go wrong?
Man,
just buy a ticket.
Get on sandals.com if you try to go to the Caribbean. Hey, at least you get all inclusive if you go to Sandals, bro. I'm letting y'all know right now. If you go to FireFest, whatever happens, you deserve it.
The artist list is a lot of impressive artists. Now, each name is followed by 3 question marks. Drake? Taylor Swift?
FireFest 2. Don't give up on your dreams, everybody. All right, that'll do it for
Relevant Buzz.
All right, stay tuned. Up next, Drew Holcomb and his HOA board join us. You're listening to Giannis and the Yaw, and the song is Clementine.
Today's podcast is brought to you in part by John Mark Comer's book, Garden City, a book that speaks to the tension we all feel between work, rest, and purpose. The New York Times bestselling author John Mark Comer takes us to the scriptures to identify what it really means to be human and flips the script on the idea that who you are matters, not what you do. He shows that God created us for meaningful work and meaningful rest. Both matter. This book helps you ask and answer the big questions. Does God care where I work? Is there a direction for my life? So you can discern God's heart for your calling, your rhythms, and the way His Spirit wants to shape every part of your life. If you're longing for purpose and a more grounded way to live, check out the new hardcover edition of Garden City wherever books are sold.
Well, today's show is brought to you in part by the new book, God, the Science, the Evidence. We talk a lot about faith, but how often do we talk about science in the same breath? You might be surprised to discover just how deeply the two actually agree. For centuries, science has been used to dismiss the idea of God, but today an intellectual revolution is underway. Modern discoveries in physics, cosmology, and biology are consistently revealing the same truth: creation isn't an accident. That profound reversal is what engineers Michel-Yves Bolloré and Olivier Bonassi investigate in their international bestseller, God, the Science, the Evidence. This book is a rigorous, evidence-based critique of materialism inviting you to explore over a dozen scientific, philosophical, and historical domains. It shows that what was once seemed impossible, that science could point to a creator, is now supported by a vast and convergent body of evidence. With over 400,000 copies sold in Europe, this book is sparking a global debate. It's thoughtful, fascinating, and a powerful reminder that reason itself affirms the existence of God. Learn more and find out where you can purchase your copy today by visiting godthesciencetheevidence.com.
Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Erwin McManus's book, The Barbarian Way. Some books don't just inspire you, they confront you. The Barbarian Way, now celebrating its 20th anniversary, is one of those books. If you felt the pull of God towards something deeper and wilder than the safe, predictable version of faith that we settle for, McManus reminds us that following Jesus was never meant to be tame. It's meant to awaken courage, passion, and purpose God placed inside us. He draws from the wild stories of Abel, Noah, Moses, Rahab, and others to remind us that following God wasn't meant to be tame. Safe faith isn't working. Step into the story God is writing for you. Choose passion, choose boldness, choose the Barbarian Way. Available now wherever books are sold.
Our guest today is Drew Holcomb. His band, Drew Holcomb and the Neighbors, is dropping their brand new album, Strangers No More Volume 2. Today. Look at us. We are so timely. It's the follow-up to their album from last year, Volume 1. We talked to Drew about the album and how he's learning to embrace change, and he shared a surprising new project on the horizon. Here's our conversation with Drew Holcomb, No Neighbors.
You just released a new album, Strangers No More Volume 2, which is a follow-up to last year's album, Strangers No More Volume 1. Were you always planning on making a part 2?
Well, we weren't sure if we were going to do part 2 or just call it a completely different name altogether. And we decided to sort of stick with keeping it inside the Strangers No More family just because this record was recorded, honestly, about almost exactly the same time. We did 2 one-week sessions in Asheville, and probably half of Volume 1 we did the first week, and the other half of Volume 2 we did the first week. So they were all mixed in together. We didn't record them separately, so they felt like one kind of complete musical project. But I think, the thing is that everybody's trying to figure out how to release music these days. It's like, do you put out one song a month for a year and a half, or do you drop it all one day and put out 20 songs, or do you split them up into 10-song records? And so we just thought we'd split this one in 2 and call it Volume 1 and Volume 2, sort of 2 different expressions of the same sort of creative time.
There's a range of separation that keeps us moving forward, even though the past is right behind.
I remember when we talked last year about Volume 1, you shared that you had been wrestling with things like getting older, your community changing, even learning how to properly express gratitude. And I'm just curious, how does this new album add on to that narrative and perspective?
Yeah, I mean, there's Sound of Moving Water is kind of like part 2 to Fly. It's a song about just wrestling with, I think struggling is too strong of a word, wrestling with getting older and making peace with that. Then you got a song like Soul. I had a lot of fun writing these songs in the same way that I did Volume 1. So Soul's a camera. I like to collect trinkets in my office. So I basically sat down and wrote a bunch of trinkets down. And then started thinking about, why do I collect trinkets? And it's like, well, each one of them represents some sort of story or moment in my life, The idea of the song was all of these sort of physical expressions of memory are really these sort of building blocks of my own story. And this, the soul's a camera of all these little snapshots and photographs of things that sort of have created me, and everybody has that, right? So I had a lot of fun sort of digging into my own life and story. And then a song like Easy Together was really written. Obviously I wrote it about Ellie, but it was, it's a song for anybody about, the one that they share life with on a sort of romantic and intimate level. And Green Light is a really fun song about it's an ode to sort of all of our wives and better halves who let us do this really crazy job.
I want to feel your arms all around me. I want to hold you close with nothing else on my mind. Take it good and slow, 'cause it's hard alone, but it's easy together.
What are you most excited about for fans to hear on this new project?
I think most of them excited for them to hear me and the band kind of stretch our wings a little bit and sort of step out of just like, the Americana band sort of stuff and just play in a bigger sandbox. I think that's sort of the my hope with it. And I hope that they really connect with I hope everybody finds a song or two they really love and connect with. And they can just kind of, I think more than anything, it just showcases a group of musicians who've been playing together for a long time, having a really good time making music together. And I think so often artists get so lost in the sort of the drive and the creative ambition that they forget to go, this is supposed to be fun, and I feel like I hope people can hear that and feel that, because that certainly was what it was like for us. And ironically, like we carried that energy straight into Ellie and I. After I finished writing this record and recording this record, Ellie and I started writing together, and we just recorded a whole record which we've never done before, and that's going to come out like in the next 5 months too. So we're just having all sorts of fun over here making music.
You mentioned something I kind of want to dive in on. You said you've been doing this for a while and you basically don't want to get tired or worn out with it. So what are some things that you do to ensure you still have fun and aren't getting burnt out or jaded?
I think a lot of it is sort of waking up with and trying to have perspective. The pandemic really taught me that. I know it's been a minute now, but I think it's so easy for everybody to get kind of lost in either the sort of ambition and the overworking, or in the sort of, I just don't like this anymore about whatever work they do, and the to-do lists and the all the, like for me, for instance, like I don't love sleeping on the bus. I don't love being away from home. I don't love eating, restaurant food every night. Like there's a lot of things about the road that I don't love. And so you could easily just tell yourself this story. Oh, this isn't worth it, And honestly, the economics of touring have gotten more complicated and challenging over the last 5 years. So, but then I had to sort of knock myself on the head and be like, are you kidding me? Look at what you're getting to do. Like, it is hard, but this time on stage and people are singing your songs and you're having this communal thing that's just like reminding everybody in the room that they're alive and that life is worth living and all that. So, it just feels kind of like for me, taking like a little step back in perspective has been really helpful.
You got imagination, always got something on your mind.
That was Drew Holcomb. Make sure to check out Drew Holcomb and the Neighbors' brand new album, Strangers No More, Volume 2. It's out today. All right. Stay tuned. Up next, it's your feedback.
I love the Lord, I gotta have everything, I'm chill. Standing on business and I haven't moved still. Had to cut a few off, y'all know who you are and what you did. I don't need to remind you, okay? I don't need to refine you. Kick rocks, hope the Lord find you and teach you, you mess not. The blessings overflowing like my cup is. Telling them what's up is. Living a life of honor, loyalty, not a puppet. Fernie, baby, I love it. This is high level, not many rappers can touch it. This is God level, he writes it, no one above him. This is pop level for all my gangsters.
You're listening to Fern. The song is Breathe Easy.
Well, today's podcast is brought to you in part by the new book, Confessions of a Christian Alcoholic.
Author Jonathan Seidel knows firsthand how even believers can get stuck in shame and destructive habits, especially when it comes to one of society's biggest obsessions, alcohol. In Confessions of a Christian Alcoholic, he details his spiral into disordered drinking and shares the 4-step process he eventually used to break free. There's hope for alcoholics who become Christians and for Christians who become alcoholics. Find Confessions of a Christian Alcoholic wherever books are sold. What if you could change a child's life with just $10? Right now, thousands of vulnerable children in East Africa are suffering from jiggers. It's a painful, preventable parasite that burrows into their feet. Soul Hope is the only organization treating it through foot washing, medical care, and durable closed-toed shoes that protect kids long after treatment. $10 may not seem like much in today's world, but when we come together, those small gifts add up to big change. Join the 10 for 10 campaign. $10 protects 10 small toes. Visit soulhope.org/10 to give now. One small gift makes a big difference. Again, that's soulhope, SOLE, hope.org/TEN. All right, it's time for your feedback. Last week, we asked you for your favorite TV shows and movies of days gone by that you think really hold up, and they need to be looked at with fresh eyes, and everybody can enjoy them the way you always have. You hit us up on X at Relevant Podcast, and here's a few of our favorites.
I'm going to start with Abby Cam, who said, recently introduced my kid to Shrek, and I can confirm it is a modern classic. Mm-hmm. I also recently watched Shrek a couple months ago. Absolutely still holds up. Even funnier than I remember.
Why did you watch Shrek?
Why did I watch Shrek?
Were you up late one night and you just got watching it? Like, how did you end up watching Shrek?
I actually watched it on a girls' trip. We were trying to find something funny to watch, and we honestly were just going to put it on in the background. And then we started watching it and we're like, wait, this is so funny. Like, this is genuinely good movie.
Well, all right. Here's an intro, and especially apropos of our conversation at the beginning of the podcast today. Big Chuck says The Truman Show, hands down. The only thing that hasn't aged well from it is Carrey's acting. Why is he doing things like Sonic 3 when he could be doing this? Jim Carrey is actually a phenomenal actor. And Sonic 3, it is pretty funny. But The Truman Show, just the concept of it, I feel like it's probably more relevant today than it was, when it was made, as just a concept, a thought experiment. Yeah.
Jurassic Park, Daniel Clardy says Jurassic Park still looks like it was made yesterday. The practical effects still look pristine. Yeah. I got to go back and check it out. I hadn't seen it in a minute, but I remember it being pretty. I was like, man, these dinosaurs look real.
Dude, I watched this Steven Spielberg documentary. I mentioned it a couple months ago, and I didn't know that his life's work passion project was Schindler's List. And he was over in Poland or wherever shooting it for like 6 months or something like that. And at the same time was conceiving and writing and shooting and making Jurassic Park. They both came out in 1992. They came out in the same year. Schindler's List and Jurassic Park. And both, think about the original vision for both of those. They did groundbreaking special effects, like the running dinosaurs. It was the first time anything like that had been done with like motion capture. Just an unbelievable innovation. Like, can you imagine the run he had in the early 90s?
It was different.
A lot of people don't know that all of the dinosaurs, this is also an impressive thing. It's actually him in like one of those green suits with ping pong balls. Every dinosaur.
I thought you were going to say it was like a Big Bird situation, like it was him in a suit, like doing the dinosaurs.
Bring back practical effects, though. I agree. The CGI stuff is just a little too much. I feel like I want to see what we could do with some practical effects in 2024.
The early days of Disney's Hollywood Studios theme park, they had a working studio as part of it. I mean, they had sound stages and shot TV shows there and movies. And so they leaned more into the movie side of things. Now it's just a bunch of rides, but they had a special effects show. And you went and they showed you how they pulled off, big water scenes and like in classic movies, they would recreate them. And I remember getting to ride on the Bumblebee for Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, like it's like this huge life-size Bumblebee and like the wind is blowing. So the little fur is blowing. So it was just such a cool thing. It's like, man, the magic of movie making. And now it's like you're sitting at a computer. That's all you're doing, to make these movies. And it's just like they used to build sets that were larger than life and it really immersed you in this.
Genetically engineer gigantic bumblebees. It was crazy.
Crazy.
The good old days.
Look, that's the future right there. Is like, you want a dinosaur? We'll make one right quick. AI will make one.
Cohen's like a real creative kid, and he games and stuff too, but he's really into like practical art making now. He's doing a lot of ceramic stuff and like building things and 3D printing. So it's just kind of cool. Yeah.
Let's go, Cohen. Cohen's going to bring it back for us.
Let's do it. Old school.
Yeah.
He's into vinyl and making things with his hands. Like,
he's
let's
an
go.
old soul that plays video games. It's crazy. He's a 90-year-old video gamer.
There you go. All right, that'll do it for your feedback. There's a lot more. If you want any suggestions for a movie night on this weekend, go check out our replies. Okay, it's time for this week's
Editorial question of the week. Hey.
Well, we talked a lot about reality TV at the beginning of the show and how things have gotten predictable. And that's why this Mormon wife show is like getting so much attention, because it's like kind of refresh the genre a little bit. Breathe new life into it. And so we want to help the reality TV producers give us more good content. So we want your ideas for show ideas for the next, maybe it'll be for Chick-fil-A Plus, their upcoming streaming service. But we want to know reality TV show ideas. Like, they follow gold miners, they follow crab fishermen, they follow exterminators. Like, what world do you want to look inside through a reality TV show?
I spent a tremendous amount of time on car lots growing up.
He was a vagrant. His dad owned one.
No, I know. Just a funny sentence to say. I spent a lot of time.
He wasn't a kid just wandering around them.
It was a hobby. I just popped in showroom to showroom.
He loved reading the window stickers.
Anyway. The whole world.
But that's the world you would do a reality show at a car lot?
The other one I've learned too is the world of Little League Baseball umpires. Man, you catch some of these side conversations. It's a whole other life, man.
They got some wild lives, huh?
I like it.
Let's just say they like the freedom that lifestyle affords them.
It's just called Ump, and it follows like the QBs and the receivers shows. And it just follows the life of different, like a ref at a middle school league, an ump at a little league. You got the soccer ref. It follows their real lives. I like it. Let's do it. Hit us up on Twitter at Relevant Podcast, and we'll read our favorite ideas on next week's show. Well, before we wrap things up, I want to thank Drew Holcomb for joining us today. Make sure to check out Drew Holcomb and the Neighbors' new album, Strangers No More, Volume 2. It is out today. Also, make sure to check out the current issue of Relevant. The digital issue is available now, featuring an amazing cover story with Letitia Wright. We also have Judah and the Lion, Carl Lentz, WNBA legend Maya Moore, Colony House, and a lot more. You can read the articles for free by clicking the magazine tab there at the website. If you want the beautiful digital magazine, enhanced, interactive, and all the sizzle, sign up for Relevant Plus. Plans start as low as $250 a month. You get the magazine, you get ad-free unlimited reading at the website, and you get an ad-free version of this podcast as well. There you go. You can just sign up right there. You can click the link. There's a little Relevant Plus thing on the top of the site. All right. On that note, we'll wrap it up. I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Jesse Carey.
I'm Derek Miner.
I'm Emily Brown.
We'll see you on Tuesday. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Thanks for listening to the Relevant Podcast. Check out our features, interviews, and news updates every day at relevantmagazine.com. And make sure to follow Relevant on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for the latest. For more great podcasts, browse the shows on the Relevant Podcast Network, which you can find at our site. And while you're there, don't miss the all-new era of Relevant Magazine. A new issue releases every other month at relevantmagazine.com.
Give you the shirt off your back.
Relevant Podcast Network. Shopify is a global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business and sell more with less effort thanks to the Shopify magic. Your AI-powered all-star. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/redcircle, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/redcircle now to grow your business no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/redcircle.